Welcome back to the course. In this lesson, we're rolling up our sleeves and getting hands-on with static routing. Think of it as the most direct conversation you can have with a router. You, the engineer, telling it by hand exactly where to send packets for a given destination. Over the next few slides, we'll move from the core idea of what a static route actually is, all the way to writing one cleanly with the iproute command. So let's break down what that command actually looks like. Every static route is really just three pieces of information stitched together: the destination network you're trying to reach, the subnet mask that defines its size, and the next hop IP, the neighbor you're handing the packet off to. Read it out loud and it almost speaks for itself. To reach 10.1.1.124, send the packet to 192.168.1.2. That's the entire grammar of a static route: a network, a mask, and a direction. Now, that direction part has a bit of flexibility to it. You can point a static route at the next router's IP, like we just saw, or you can point it out a local exit interface, something like gyro atsoro, telling the router to just send packets out that physical port. And there's a third option that's actually the most robust: specify both. That fully specified form skips what's called a recursive lookup, where the router has to first figure out how to reach the next hop before it can forward the packet. In practice, next hop alone is the most common style you'll see, but knowing all three gives you options. Now here's a special case that comes up constantly in the real world: the default route. When you write iproute 0.0.0.0.0.0 followed by a next hop, you're telling the router, if you don't have a more specific match in the table, send the packet here. That's why it's called the gateway of last resort, and you'll spot it instantly in show IP route because it's flagged with an asterisk next to the S. It's the single cleanest way to point all unknown traffic, typically everything destined for the internet, at your upstream router. Now, what if you want a backup path waiting in the wings? That's exactly what a floating static route gives you. Notice the trailing 5 at the end of the second command. That's a custom administrative distance. Since the default for a static route is 1, this backup looks less attractive and stays hidden in the table. The moment the primary next hop goes down, the backup floats up and takes over. Automatic failover with 2 lines of config. And that's static routing. You've gone from understanding what a static route is to writing one cleanly with a backup path ready to take over. Next up in Lesson 3, we hand the steering wheel over to the routers themselves and dive into dynamic routing protocols. If this lesson clicked for you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Full course is on dargslan.com. See you in the next one.